Hey, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everybody. And super excited because this is day 5 of a virtual summit, should we say, for the Accelerated Outcomes Productivity Enhancement Show. So same as everything, same as everybody. If you have any comments or suggestions or questions, please use the comment section in the box below. And also, if you're listening to this live, okay, really important, you'll see like a StreamYard box. Just accept their T's and C's, and you'll be able to essentially put your name in so that we can see who's actually asking the questions, and then it won't come up Facebook user. So that'd be awesome. So without further ado, want to introduce to you a really good friend of mine. Actually, we did an amazing event in London. Can't remember the month now. I'm just trying to find out. But we had an amazing time. It was his event, and he did a fantastic job. And we'll tell you about an event that we're doing together a little bit later on. And what I love about Dario is that he is, he's a realist, as in, like, from an entrepreneurial perspective. I see so many hardworking entrepreneurs and business owners, right, that have gone through the roller coaster, as I like to call it, the emotional roller coaster. And Dario will share with you that, maybe he will share with you that emotional roller coaster and the things that the hoops that he's have to jump through and stuff like that. But what I'm also fascinated about is his story, and about how to create that sales winning mindset. That's what we're going to be talking about today, because in any business, whether you're an entrepreneur and business owner or whatever it is, okay, sales and marketing is probably one of the key fundamentals in running a business. He'll tell you otherwise. So like I said, comments, questions, whatever it is, if you're listening to the recording of this, okay, what I would recommend you do, again, make a comment in the comment section or whatever it is. And at the end of this, we will put some contact details up with regards to if you want to contact Dario or myself or whatever it might be. That would be awesome. So without further ado, big round of applause for Mr. Dario Cucci.
Hey there, good to see you.
Dario,
Thank you for the introduction, Adam.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. How are you doing, Dario?
I'm great. Thanks for asking.
Awesome. So first of all, I just want to say thanks very much for giving us your time today. Really appreciate it.
I like doing it. It's all right. So good.
So what I was going to say is we're talking sales today, because that's kind of your niche as such, if that's what you want to call it. But just before we kind of go into the main part of the interview and stuff like that, do you want to just give us a bit of an insight as to how did you get to where you are right now? Did you have an experience? Did you have an epiphany or whatever it is? How did you get to where you are right now in sales?
In sales, well, that's a long journey, but in short, I moved from Switzerland to Australia when I was about 26.
Okay.
And even during my time in Switzerland, I was working in sales at times. But in Australia, I first worked in retail, then I worked in the hospitality industry. And later on, I was a personal trainer for almost 5 years.
You was? I didn't realize that.
I did. I was a franchisee at Fitness First, Bond Street Gym. I had apprentices that I also coached on how to actually build a business and do sales. And from there, I got sick and tired of it, and I educated myself with learning NLP practitioner, NLP master practitioner, timeline therapy, hypnosis, studying with Tad James back in Australia, and focus on the mindset first and help people to achieve their goals by helping them reprogram the subconscious mind and letting go of the limiting beliefs and things like that. Later on, I got offered a job with EmpowerNet in Sydney,
Okay.
And that's where I started selling Anthony Robbins, UPW, and They Do Destiny and things like that over the phone.
Okay.
And that's how my career started in selling. And the first 2 weeks were really, really difficult. I almost quit the job because I was paid on commission only. And there was no payday if I didn't make any sales. So, and one of my breakthroughs, and I actually write that in the, I believe I wrote that in my book, Turning Customers into Profit, was when I made the decision on the day, no matter what happens, either I make a sale or I quit the job. And I went in and I followed up with a prospect that was interested in They Do Destiny. And between going forward and backward on the phone and back to my supervisor, asking her all those questions that I didn't know the answers to, because it was still brand new in it, then basically I kept going back and said, yes, you can do that. Yes, you can attend a later date to Day to Destiny if you can make it. And then I finally asked that question, so are you now ready to get your ticket to attend Day to Destiny? And she was like, yes. And then basically that was my commission that saved me from being able to pay my bills. And
wow.
That was like literally I had no money in my bank account to pay rent, and I got the commission paid out. I was able to pay my rent and have a okay life from there on. And within my first almost year, I made over $1 million additional sales revenue for the company. I got referred to work for another company, and that's how my career started in sales and within the self-development industry, working with a lot of different international speakers, Chris Howard, Jamie McIntyre, Dr. Joanna Martin, Kevin Ray, you name it. Like I either directly worked with them and did their programs and learned from them, and or even sold their programs over the phone and in person at the events.
Right.
So, so I learned a lot throughout those years. And after 15 years, I came back to Switzerland to spend time with family. And for a short time, I was employed. And then I started my own business, which focused to help entrepreneurs and business owners to help increase their sales revenue and improve their customer service, whilst also getting more repeat sales on the back end. Because there are flaws within the industries, I'd say, service industries in particular. And so I wanted to change that. And recently, I just redefined my branding a little bit after attending Sammy's event. I had a breakthrough there, and I thought to myself, I can talk about, strategies and communication skills and everything in between and what you can do. There's hundreds of ways that you can make a sale. Yeah. But one thing that I keep getting feedback on from my existing and past clients is, and what I see as well, is when I speak to a person, even like yourself, for instance, and I have a conversation, and you're asking me a question, all of a sudden you have a light moment. So I help people to literally have light moments like in their brains. It's like they have a breakthrough moment. They go, wow. And as a result, they apply themselves better. Even if they don't directly work with me as per se as one-to-one, they end up applying themselves to make more sales because they shifted their mindset.
Got it.
And so I now don't call myself anymore the servant sale coach. I basically call myself the sales mind shifter.
I like it.
And the reason being is exactly that, because first you need to shift your mindset before anything else. Because if you're not shifting your mindset before, I can give you 1,000 hours on content or more with what I got. And yet, if your mindset isn't in the right place, you will not apply it. So it won't help you in that sense, because you're not ready to apply yourself with what you learn. And that is the first thing in selling. As you know, it's not the strategy, that makes it. It's your resilience to know who you are and how to communicate what you do to the person that needs it in order for you to make the sale. But as long as you don't believe you deserve it, and as long as you're doubting yourself, regardless if that is logical or if it's on a subconscious level, you will always put blocks in your way, and you will sign up for lots of trainings and do everything under the sun, but you won't make sales. And so that's one of the reasons why I actually really do not want to work with startup companies anymore, because a lot of them they need to work on themselves a lot more before they even start working with me. Not because they're not good, but that, first of all, they normally don't have the money to afford me. And second of all, not all of them, but a lot of them have a long way to go to just get the groundwork. So the groundwork that I had, when I had the epiphany of in my first sales job at EmpowerNet, I worked literally from 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning till like 9 p.m. at night every day.
Right.
On the phone. And that was my self-development learning, if you want. It's because you're putting in the hours and you're trying different things out, and then you try different technique, and you're looking at what else can I do? I know NLP, I know state of change, emotional change, integration. Why can't I get this sale closed over the phone? And I had coaching all the way through all the time. And it took me 2 weeks to ultimately have that one breakthrough that made all the difference, that ultimately helped me to generate in $5,000 to $10,000 in commission every month, just from a paid job only.
Wow.
And that is the groundwork that literally everybody should actually have to be doing before they even have a coach. Like myself, it's almost like, when somebody comes to you for productivity, if they have not yet done the basics, how can you work with them on productivity? Because they haven't even started on using a CRM, for instance, or haven't even tried to put something together and failed at it because they weren't productive. So there's nothing for you to correct or to give them feedback on, because they're still at the very basic. So the first thing that you will go and tell them is, go fail first at what you're trying to do, and then come and simulate in half a year's time. Because that's when I can help you more, because you know yourself better for what you have not achieved. And the same is with the mindset of the selling.
I think it's interesting, because I think with a lot of startups, you highlight a very important factor here is you've got to have the basic foundations in place, because, and again, you've highlighted a very important factor here, especially with startup companies. So when you're a startup company compared to you're an employee, my experience in working with, in having conversations with people that kind of want to make money or become successful, is that they have these different perceptions of what an entrepreneur should be, or a business owner should be, right? And they think it's going to be easy. I wish it was. Everyone would be queuing at the door, Dario.
No, being self-employed is hard. It's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy. And, for any of you guys listening in and thinking that you're going to make that shift from employee to entrepreneur, take these words very, 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 very carefully. Do your research. That's all I'm going to say, is do your research, and go to these events and be a sponge. When I first got into entrepreneurship, I think the thing is, we weren't born with entrepreneurial skills or leadership skills or sales skills. You have to learn those things, right? You have experiences, like you were just talking about your experiences, right? And so you fell into sales because, this is your thing now. This is something that you've experienced, and this is now you saying that you're passionate about. Do you know what I mean? But it's not for everybody, is it?
No, it's not. Well, the thing about sales is, it's underestimated for some people, overestimate their ability of making sales, and some people underestimate what it takes.
Yes.
And then there are natural talents that are literally just natural talents in selling. But selling your own service is a different thing than when you're selling someone else's service or product.
Yeah.
And the problem that I see in the self-development industry with coaches, personal trainers, consultants as well is the broad branding and the way that they describe what they do. So I'm a consultant, or I'm a coach, or I'm a personal trainer, or and then the problem is it does not define who they help them, and it does not define how they pitch themselves. So they don't know themselves, so therefore they cannot pitch themselves. And when it comes to selling their product over the phone, or even in person, they don't know how to do that. So they end up going into this large explanation of what they do and how they can help people. But they don't actually ask the right questions in order for the person to go, I want to work with you. How can you do that?
It's like verbal diarrhea or waffle.
Yeah.
I like to call it.
Exactly.
So guys, listen, if you're listening in, by the way, if you're listening to this live or you're listening to the recording, again, put your comments in the comment section. If you have any questions for Dario related to sales and winning and mindset and sales, I think it's really, really important. Good to have you on the call, Jay, as well. So I have another question, actually, because what I love about this title in terms of mindset, what do you think is, so let's look at the foundations. What is it that, where is it that we need to begin, right? So you talk about mindset, but mindset can mean so many different things to so many different people, right? But what is it that we need to do to condition our mindset in order to get, should we say, I'm not saying more sales, increase sales, I don't know. But, in terms of the outcome, I suppose we have different outcomes. But what is the, anything there at all in terms of mindset? Where do we need to begin?
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been to a theater?
You mean to see a show?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So have you ever, and then you thought, wow, that was an amazing show, it was an amazing play or anything like that? And was there any given time when the actor on stage just stopped and go, what do I say next?
No, it's never happened to me.
Unless they forgot their lines. But even if they did, you wouldn't actually know it, would you?
Right. No, absolutely not.
And so what happens is that a lot of people in sales try to figure out the lines before they say them. And even put down their goals and expectations and all that. But then when the push comes to shove, kind of thing, have you ever been to a rehearsal of a play?
I've never been to a rehearsal, no.
All right. Well, if you ever get a chance, go to a rehearsal before they actually do the show, like officially.
Okay.
You will be mortified how bad it is. So the thing is, all the actors, the director, and everybody involved is part of it. And in sales, it's almost like the same kind of thing as a metaphor, putting it this way. So there is the communication that we use in everyday life, right? There is the different kinds of strategies. There is your own initial pitch. There is the handling of the objections. There is the closing argument. There is the building, the suspension, the making them emotionally be involved and getting them excited about what it is that you do. All of that and more. There is your own emotional state. There is the customer's emotional state. There is you controlling the conversation if you're really good. There's also when to listen and when to ask the right questions. There's how to maneuver certain objections and handle them, overcome them, or confront the person and use humor maybe. There's all of that. And yet, when it comes to doing it, it needs to be seamless, like you are at a theater watching a play and it seems all natural and it's an amazing experience. And yet, when it comes to doing that, most people end up making sales like it's a horrible rehearsal.
It's interesting. so
like,
much into
what should
consideration.
I say now? Well, how do I handle this freaking objection? Oh, what should I offer? Oh, instead of offering something, I give them something for free. Is a mistake. Or they are pushing too hard. They're pushing so hard that they're pushing the person away instead of getting them as a customer, and so on and so forth. So that's how it is as a metaphor.
Can I just ask you a question? Actually, you're wearing like, it looks like a blue droplet around your neck. Can I ask what that is? Because it's kind of.
This is a stone, a healing stone. I don't know what it's called. And this one is the one drop from Sammy Blindell.
Ah, yes, Sammy. Okay, yes, I saw that. The teardrop is what she calls it.
Yeah,
something like that. I think it's called a teardrop.
So the one drop, so that we all have an impact in the world, even if we are just have a drop in the sea kind of thing that has a ripple effect. So that's the way it normally is in sales. And the thing is, it's like a rehearsal space for startups, for existing business owners that have established, they have a certain client base that make a certain money out of what they do. They already have that basic down. Okay. And the basic mindset needs to be that you need to be willing to prepare yourself before you go on stage trying to put on a show when you haven't even rehearsed yet. And that's literally what startups do. They're literally, it's almost like they're trying to get the lines in their head and know which movements to make, and from which end, from the stage to the other end, they need to walk to and interact with people. And the director is not even there yet. So they're literally stumbling around, not knowing what they do. Whereas an established business, he knows, oh, this is how I'm actually functioning. I have those habits. I can make the sales like this. And now I need to get a director, like a coach, into the play that can actually tweak what I do so I can do it even better. So when the show is actually starting, I'm on my A game. And the mindset needs to be, I need to be willing to prepare to do whatever it takes to get me to the A game. So when I'm pitching and talking to people, I am selling unconsciously without even knowing that I'm doing it. It is like a natural conversation that is just happening, and the person wants to work with me because they got how I can help them, or they got what my product will do for them. Therefore, it's just a natural progression. And that is, the mindset needs to be like that.
Question, because I know that you run events and there's various different, I mean, you talked about selling on the phone, you talked about selling face-to-face, you talk about selling in events. I mean, there's different scenarios, right?
Yeah.
Are there any particular rituals or habits that you do, like for yourself, this is, to put you in a mindset where, I guess, where you can, I don't want to use the word sell more because that's probably the wrong word, but I guess kind of to condition your mind to where you want to be? Are there any rituals or habits that you use yourself?
Well, when it comes to selling, it's like I'm like literally emptying my brain in that sense of expectations and goals or anything. And I just believe to go with the flow to wherever it takes me. When I sold those programs for other people on the phone, it was literally just have a great conversation. That was it. So take the conversation and close them on what serves them best. And for me, it's like just be relaxed, be in a relaxed state of mind, and listen to uplifting music or watch a funny video that cheers you up if you're not in a good mood, or anything that helps you to be present and cheers you up. And then focus not on yourself wanting to make the sale. Instead, focus on the other person and what you can serve them with the best way possible, and sell that when it's appropriate.
Yeah.
And when you follow that as a preparation before you're making a phone call or before you're holding a conversation, you most likely will end up getting the sale, because the person will rightfully be connected to you.
Mm-hmm.
They will ask you the right questions, you will guide, you will control the conversation, but you will go with the flow. And when you go with the flow and you know the structure on how to get them excited about the solution that you're selling, and you ask for the sell at the end of it, offering them how to take action and buy what you are offering.
Yes.
When they are ready, they will purchase.
The other thing that I was kind of going to ask you, actually, what are the steps before the selling techniques or whatever it is? What are the, because there are steps before, isn't there? I suppose it depends on the scenario or the circumstances. I mean, let's start with
what do you mean steps before, in regards to before you're making a phone call, or
that's what I'm saying. So before the actual sale happens. So if we take, say, being on the phone, for example, as you mentioned, and you're very experienced at that, what are the things, or what is the build up to that? What are the things that people need to do in order to get, say, maybe people on the phone, for example, if that's the call to action?
Well, you need to be prepared. You need to know what is it that, if you were to sell anything, what are the 2 or 3 products or services that you could potentially sell. Okay.
Right.
You need to know the price point.
Yeah.
Otherwise, how are you going to make any kind of special deal if you don't even know the price point?
Yeah.
And you need to have an incentive for people to take action. So if you reward them for taking action, you need to know how can they do all that.
Yes.
So, and you need to have the CRM open. You need to know their contact details, of course. You need to be prepared, okay? It's literally like I said before with the analogy about being an actor delivering a great show.
Yes.
There are so many moving parts before the actual show. You need to have all those things in place. And the same is with selling. So you need to have those things in place. And then you need to literally just relax and hold the conversation and enjoy the conversation, know where you're going with it, and be confident to control the conversation the way you want to go. And go with your personality. It doesn't mean that you need to be a certain way. You can still be yourself, but you need to know what that is. The biggest downfall that I normally see is a lot of people don't know who they truly are when it comes to selling their own services. They're good at selling other people's things, but when it comes to themselves, they stumble. And you need to know yourself and why are you worth investing in you. So you need to be your first customer that would actually go, I will buy myself.
Yeah.
And that is ultimately, you need to have that mindset that I believe in myself and what I do, and I will buy what I do because I know I do A, B, C, and nobody else is like me, and that's why I will buy what I do.
Very cool.
That is, and then all the other things need to be in place. Because if let's say you don't have a CRM, and you're holding this really good call, the person goes, I'm not ready yet, but I want to actually organize the payment I want to get started with you at the end of this week. And you don't have a CRM. So somewhere you're making a note on a Post-it or something, and then you lose it. And then the person might call you and go, hey, let's do it. But they might just as well not. And then you lose the sale.
Yeah.
Whereas when you have like a CRM, as you know, it doesn't matter what kind of CRM it is, as long as it reminds you make that phone call and you have notes about the conversation and what needs to be actioned and their details, then the sale, you then call the person and make the sale, you close it. A sale is only another thing needs to be in a mindset. You need to have that mindset of that you can do a kind of thing, where and you don't need to be afraid of accepting money or payments or anything like that. Another thing that you need to be willing to accept payment, and enjoy it, and that's the thing where those things you need to be able to accept credit cards and things like that. And if you're not ready to do all that, then get that set up first before you make a sale.
Yes.
Because when you make the sale, you want to know that the money goes into your bank account without you chasing it. So those are all things that I'd say are as important. And from a mindset perspective, I would say the most important is really to just have that mindset that you can I can do it. That's the mindset.
Very
because
cool.
if I would have, when I started out, even like when I was doing personal training, during my first year, they had like this 3 months probation within the franchisee where you can build up your client base.
Of course.
And one of the things that we were able to do is sell trial trainings for free trainings for $50. And the $50, when you sell it yourself, you could actually keep the fitness.
Nice
for you to do that.
Yes.
And I needed extra money. So what did I do? I just, walked in the gym around, gave them some tips, and then asked them if they want to do like 3 trial sessions for $50. And most of the people said, yes, why not? That's like 3 half-an-hour sessions.
Right.
So within 10 days, I made a new record. I believe I made about 14 sales.
Wow.
Just doing that, It's not a lot of money when you think about it.
Sure.
$700, but for me, that was a lot of money at the time, It was
Absolutely.
like, I needed that. And out of that, I'd say I converted about 2/3.
Okay.
So I made about 10 people that trained with me twice a week, that paid me in advance for the month,
Sweet.
a substantial amount of money. So within the first 2 months, I was booked out.
Yeah.
And why did I do that? Because I had to believe, I can. That's a pure mindset thing. I didn't even have that experience that I have now.
I have to ask you this question because I've been wanting to ask you this question for quite some time. Have you ever, and I'm sure you have, by the way, can you remember a time when you had a really bad sales experience that you were involved in, that you were the main person in the party? Can you remember one that maybe sat in the back of your mind that you thought, oh my God, and you look back at it and you think, why did I do that? And what did you learn from it? And what was the circumstances?
Oh,
where to start?
There were many. I think.
Is there any kind of big ones for you that was like, oh my God, that was just such a flop?
No, it wasn't that. It's like for me when I used to do pressure selling, which I don't do anymore.
Right.
But when you have a person on the phone or even in a conversation, and you're really good at convincing them, and then they end up paying for the training, $5,000 or whatnot. And later on they get started, but it's a lot of work. It's not like, and then they're asking for a refund, and there's and you lose the commission because of the refund, and you have all that hassle of it because of it. And it happened a few times in my lifetime when I worked for other companies. And of course you're disappointed because you're holding like an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, that conversation, So, like when somebody signs up for a $5,000 program, mentoring program, it's not a conversation that goes for 5 minutes. It's a conversation that goes for half an hour to 1 hour. And you go, well, what could I've done better? And the one thing that I've learned from it is if the person, it's not if they ask too many questions out, but if the person has too many hesitations, too many red flags where they are the victim in a kind of way, what if, you're better off to turn them away and to go, you're not ready yet.
Yes.
Because when you can sell them, but when you push them and you sell them, and even on my own program, I had one like that in the very beginning. It's like they're always the victim. And then you go, I'm not going to give you a refund. You already got like a really good deal anyway.
Yeah.
And you try to help them on so many levels, and you end up, the time that you invest in trying to solve the problem that they need to solve themselves, and they're not willing to, it's not worth it. That's what I've learned is especially in the coaching industry, you need to push people away sometimes when you feel that they're not ready, because otherwise you are literally wasting your own energy on people like that trying to solve their problems when they're not really ready to solve it themselves.
And it's unethical as well, trying to sell something just to put your own agenda on somebody else. You know what I mean? It's just unethical, and it's just not cool, man. And I think that it makes good coaches, mentors, consultants, and whatever it is. It makes people in the sales industry makes them look bad.
There is also the responsibility of the customer to be real.
Of course,
it's not always the salesperson or the company's fault. You cannot fault them for pushing.
Sure.
It's a sales choice, really, when you want to push. The only thing that I believe is unethical is when you are promising or selling something to someone, knowing that you cannot deliver it, and you're just saying it so that you get like that. But I had people in the industry that were like really relaxed. I knew a person that was like literally he hardly spoke, but he made a lot of sales. Because just asked the right question and listened to the person opening up. And then I had another person that I know of that he was like pushy, and he made sales too, but he had also a higher refund rate, And then my style is more the pragmatic one, where I am pushy to a certain extent, but then I leave it up to the person to come to me, and then I close them. And I'm real with them. I tell them what it is, So I think it's really, everybody has that different style.
Absolutely.
But the problem is, you can be as decent and honest and transparent as you are, when the customer is not taking accountability and they're not doing what they're required to do, and then trying to put it out on you. That gives you a bad reputation, but it's actually not your fault. It is the customer's fault on its own. They need to have a hard look at themselves and go, well, did I really implement what I was told to do? And if I didn't, did I really play full out and shifted my mindset, or didn't I? Or did I sabotage myself, And if those are the things where they go, well, I have. I mean, I stopped doing the group coaching that I offered for, because I'm restructuring everything a little bit right now, the branding. But the other thing is, I don't want people in the group coaching that aren't ready to implement what I teach them to do, and therefore, or even like the one-to-one, because they need to be, in order for them to progress, they need to shift their mindset. And once they shifted their mindset, they need to start practicing their communication skills and strategies, and then they will make sales.
Cool.
But I had people in the past where you give them all the tools. You even do like timeline therapy or hypnosis or NLP techniques and anchoring and this and that. And they then feel better. They go like, oh, I feel great, and I am doing it now. Then they started little by little doing things. But as soon as there was a challenge, then instead of, going through the challenge, working through it, they would then go through with an excuse and go, oh, it's too hard. And then they go, well, why haven't I made more sales, Dario? And I was like, well, what have you practiced your introduction pitch? No, I haven't. Have you offered your services and asked for the money? No, I haven't. Have you actually done like the repackaging and offered it as we said with the tempting offer, conditionally closing? Have you practiced conditional closing? Yes. No, I haven't. So what have you done instead? Well, I studied some more hypnosis or something else. So I was like, well, hello.
Yeah.
You know, also you're studying more hypnosis or whatever it is that you do.
Yes.
Good for you, but it's not going to make you sales.
Speaking about Sammy, she's just said hi, by the way. So that's cool. Hi, Sammy. It's very good. Okay, Jay, webinar marketing has got a bit out of hand. If a session is going to last 3 hours, tell audiences what to expect by 1 hour. The common practice have been discouraging no matter how good an offer may be. I guess you have a good point there, Jay. Did you hear what I said there, Dario?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, cool.
So what is the question?
It wasn't really a question. It was more of a statement, actually.
Well, I think we are on for 3 hours. I have a client in 15 minutes that I need to work with.
Yes.
And, you know, in regards to expectations and boundaries, yeah, absolutely. It's always good to know. Normally, I would say a session like this can go for half an hour to 1 hour, depending. And, you know, it's good for the people. If you can stay all the way through, then you can always watch the replay later on. And the thing is, the content that you guys are learning here from me and from Adam is gold worth. Normally, I give those kind of tips and strategies and share with people that are actually working with me directly. Yeah. So you're getting actually free content that you don't need to pay for.
Definitely. Just a quick one, because I'm conscious of time now, Dario, because I know that we're kind of getting to our, because I know that you've got your client and I've got some other things to do as well. Guys, if you have any questions or comments, last minute questions or comments that you want to ask Dario, or then please do put that in the comment section below. What I was going to say, Dario, if anyone wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way to do that?
They can get in touch with me either through Facebook, just connecting with me on Facebook.
Cool.
Or dariocucci.net, which is basically is my website where you can also email directly through the contact form and get in touch with me. And and that's the best way.
Very good. Oh, hang on a second. Oh, there we go. Cool. Question. Because I know that we're doing an amazing event in April again, aren't we? Ultimate Entrepreneur again. Do you want to just...
Yeah. So hopefully we'll do it on the 25th and 26th of April. We'll just so basically, but the reason I have been holding off on promoting it, as you know, is I wanted to really do it in such a way that we're all, like yourself, myself, Sammy, Sam Drews, and even possibly, you know, Brian Wood. I need to double check if he wants to come over to fly just as he did last time. But ultimately, I want to pre-sell the tickets before I even do any promoting.
Cool, very good.
So that we literally hold the conversation with those people and go, are you ready? And really let them know what the event is about, in a sense of that they get mentored and coached by us for 2 days.
Yes.
Then sell it on their purpose to say, look, when after the 2 days, this is basically what you can learn. But during the 2 days, you can also make the decision to continue working with us in the space of 6 months. And it's a different approach. I actually recently saw a sales page where people had to apply to attend an event. And I'm actually thinking of doing that for the Ultimate Entrepreneur, instead of just having the pricing for the tickets there, to go apply, and then we'll basically talk and tell you the ticket price
Yes.
exist, you know.
That's a good point, actually. It's interesting because now you've said that. Well, Jay, I think she's listening in right now. But I did a productivity enhancement challenge. It was a 10-day thing. And what I did is I interviewed each and every single one that was going through the challenge, because I needed to know if they were exactly the right person for the challenge. And number two, they were going to put the work in, right? Because otherwise they're not going to get the results. And I just can't have people that are just going to not take responsibility, not going to take ownership, and have this, what I call excuseitis, which is just unacceptable. You know, so that's actually a really good thing, actually, Dario. I think so. What we'll do, guys, in the group here, in the Accelerated Outcomes Facebook group, if you're listening in here, what we'll do is we'll keep you updated with regards to what me and Dario are working on right now, and we'll just keep you in the loop if that's okay. If that's all right with you, Dario?
Yeah, I mean, look, for anybody that wants to come along to the Ultimate Entrepreneur, this is what I'm going to quickly just give you a little bit of like an overview what you can expect for those who have not been there. It's not a sales pitch fest, so what will be is 5 to 6 key note speakers and international experts like myself, Adam, Sam Drews, who's Facebook and marketing expert, Sammy Blindell, who's on branding. You know, she's an international branding expert and coach on that. And even like Brian Wood, who's an international leadership coach to the stars of sports. And we literally work for 2 days with you, meaning that we will workshop throughout the 2 days. The event I will limit to 50 people maximum. And it will be intense, it will be fun, it will be entertaining, but it will also more likely be very much educational and transformational for all the people that are there, because it will help you understand where you need to start working to take it to the next level. So it's literally meant for existing business owners that really want to go from a 6-figure to a 7-figure, or from a 5-figure to a 6-figure income with what they do in the coaching and in the service industry kind of thing. So if you got like a service that you do, like marketing, coaching, in life coaching, or even like something like personal training or consulting, then
it applies to everyone.
Then this event is literally for you. It's not meant for startup companies. Startup companies still need to do the groundwork, and they will learn some things, but unless you are, let's put it this way, if you're a startup where you have done the basics and you want to take it to the next level, then this event is for you. However, if you're a startup and you have just like started with an idea and you don't even know where you're going, then it's not for you, because we will, you know, each of us will be talking about certain strategies where you will need to know the basics first.
Dario, I have to cut you off. I'm really sorry, but I know that you've got to go and I've got to go. I've got a client waiting, so I must apologize. However, I just want to say thank you very much for your time this evening. It's been wonderful to have you on, by the way. And I hope to see more of you and things like that. And looking forward to working with you more in 2020.
Absolutely.
And guys, if you have any questions or comments and you want to reach out to me or Dario, feel free to do so, and listen into the Accelerated Outcomes Productivity Enhancement Show. So Dario, thank you very much. Really appreciate you.
You're most welcome. Looking forward to working with you again as well.
Really appreciate you, brother.
All right.
I think Dario's gone now.
All right. See you guys. Bye.
Awesome. Okay, guys, have a good one. See you soon. Take care of yourself. Cheers now. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.